everybody. Welcome to the Dice Tower Board Game Breakfast. It is June 21st. It is about the longest day of the year. I think that's tomorrow. It's either the 21st or the 22nd. Doesn't matter. You can't tell the difference, which is sad because that means it's going to start getting darker as you get up earlier now. But hey, we are now full-blown in the summer. Summer is here. It is kind of a weird summer because usually I would be sitting here talking about Dice Tower East, but that is postponed till next year. So it is what it is. I would also be normally telling you about Dice Tower retreats, but they are both sold out. You can still email us and get on a wait list for them, but I'm actually going today to check out the hotel for one of them. So that's going on, and because I'm doing that, I won't be doing my Q&A later, but Chris is here to answer all your hard thought up questions. Ask him about cosmic, I don't know, I can't even think of a good question to ask him. All right. So that's all stuff going on. Now, there are some rooms left in Dice Tower Cruise, but I don't mean to get hyperbolic, but the retreat sold out very fast. Dice Tower Cruise is going to sell out. And cruise ships are almost back in business, folks. You want to go on a fantastic, tremendous thing. If you watched all our stuff I did last week where I'm going through the library shelf by shelf, and you want to play those games, they're going to be at the cruise. So you can find out more information at dicetowercruise.com. Other than that, we have a contest. So let's take a look here. Today's contest is for Brew. We really like Brew. In fact, we did a review of it a couple weeks ago. This is for people who live in the U.S., Canada, and Australia. All you have to do to win one of these copies is to email us at contest@dicetower.com. And in the subject line, put the word elements, because there are multiple elements in this game that you can use to great havoc to your opponents. And the question is, how many creatures can you train at a time? You just have to answer that in the body. You can watch our playthrough because it's really obvious. I'll give you a hint. The answer is not 17. All right, so I'm kind of narrowing it down for you. But go ahead and watch the how to play or read the rules online. The shipping container got delayed for this one a bit, but it's still on its way. So you do want to get a copy of this. The shipping containers for many companies have been delayed. There's a big shipping jam right now going on. But hopefully that will clear up. Lots of new games to talk about, folks. We got a lot to get into. So here we go.
Hello, my name's Dan. This is Cora, and we're here today to talk to you about some of the games we've been playing recently. And this is what we've been playing recently. It's a game called
Pharaoh.
Pharaoh. Pharaoh?
It says Pharaoh.
Yeah, Pharaoh.
Yeah.
And this is a re-theme of a much older game, although this is quite old at the moment, called Ghoulagoola, I think it's called. Anyway, I'll show it you. I'll show it you. We don't need to worry about that now. So what do you do in this game?
Well, you're going through a pyramid.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get little jewelry pieces.
Scarabs.
They look like bugs.
They look like bugs.
Like the place in the bug shape. But anyway. And to move forward, there's a little like bowl full of boulders.
Yeah.
And you've got a stick in the middle of it. You've got to take out a boulder without putting the stick on the floor. So it's quite fun.
It is quite fun, unless you've got big, fat sausage fingers. And then it's quite hard. So this is another great game for kids, because kids are usually a lot better than adults at it.
Because some of the boulders are small and some are big.
Yeah, and my fingers are all big, really. So I've got no chance. So this is a really good game. What do you think about it?
I think it's really fun how you've got the different colours that are different sizes, and sometimes it'll be hard to get to, sometimes it'll be easy.
Yeah, it's really good. This probably plays a little bit younger than you. You're probably a little bit too old for it now. But the reason we've been playing it is because we're doing our top 100 at the moment, aren't we? And we're trying to remind ourselves of some of the games that you'd forgotten.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Future video.
This is on the top 100, but what number? So yeah, Pharaoh. Good game.
Good game.
We give it
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
It's been a while since I played Pharaoh. basically a retheme of Ghoulagoola. Normally I'd give Dan garbage and say that he was just, giving an excuse for why he loses, but yes, fat fingers are no good at those games. All right, let's take a look at some things that you can get on Board Game Geek. We have Res Arcana. These are the alternate Mages card pack. Now this is for the expansion. So again, this I like this Beastmaster artwork, but it must just take a really long time to paint yourself up before you do this thing, and I would not mess with a crocodile at all. I like the art on these, but that's all these are. They're just alternate arcs, so keep that in mind. There's also a card up your sleeve. The card, this is for Red Dragon Inn. That's a prize variant, so if you like that game. And then we just got some pins, or just a pin today. Hey, this says Geek. I feel like I should just wear this all the time. And then we got some upgraded components. This is my favorite thing to talk about from the store. These are for It's a Wonderful World, and they just replaced the tokens in It's a Wonderful World. There's two kinds of tokens here, and I really like these. I'll take it. These should be done for every game in existence. Every token. I love them. So that's for It's a Wonderful World. And then we got upgrades for Tapestry. And you might be like, what? But Tapestry components are so good. I'm just kidding. No one said that. No, Tapestry components are fine. I'm actually slightly kidding there, but their score tokens are not amazing. So these are kind of just upgraded versions of those. These are okay. I don't know that I would, fight someone over these. I would fight you maybe over the It's a Wonderful World ones, or the last week when we showed the Watergate stuff. But these scoring tokens, they're fine. They work well. And again, like I said, Tapestry has really great components except its scoring tokens. But this is kind of an upgrade for that if you want to get them. So all the stuff's available on the Board Game Geek store. I love it. Let's keep moving.
Hey Board Gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, back with another episode of Crowdsurfing Lining Up. That's right, I'm bringing you projects that won't break your budget, but throw in a little something extra. Here's what I'm checking out this week. I'm at Southern Stone, a local rock gym in Lafayette, Louisiana. I wonder why? Because Lanyap's all about rock climbing. Let's go inside. First Ascent is a brand new game from designer Kate Oddie, an avid rock climber, and it shows. First Ascent is for 2 to 5 players. It's out on Kickstarter right now. Players take on the roles of rock climbers ascending up a steep cliff, choose the best routes, and score the most points to win. But getting to the top is a big thrill, but like any rock climbing adventure, you don't have to hit the summit. You just have to enjoy the journey. The game comes with 10 unique climbers, many with cool special powers. Designer Kate Oddie wanted to combine her passions of rock climbing and board gaming, and I just happen to be in a family where those two hobbies also intersect. Kate was kind enough to send us a prototype, and we spent a week playing the game. My family liked it so much, they didn't want to give it back. Players will take turns plotting out their routes up the mountain face, trying to find the best way to score the maximum thrills and techniques and points. You'll have to manage your water and experience and equipment, and every once in a while, you'll just have to take that risk to make it to the next level. I really like the event cards that come out after each successful climb. They add a little spice to the jambalaya of the game, and I especially like the diversity of characters you can play and how each has their own unique power. Plus, there's a little bit of lanyap. Since the project funded so quickly, the designer has already added more cards and characters, and there's even a rumor about a neoprene playmat mountain. Hey, so that's First Ascent. First-time designer Kate Ott. It's out on Kickstarter right now. It's a rock climbing Euro that my rock climbing family really enjoyed. In fact, I'm backing it. Take a look at it if it's something that interests you. And until next time, laissez-les bon temps rouler. I always want to do that.
I'm highly suspect here because I didn't see him climbing that mountain at all. He just showed other people do it. I would not do one of those climbing things, although I know lots of people like them. Climbing something is I don't even like climbing a step ladder. So, hey, what's coming from the Dice Tower this week? Well, we got podcasts coming up tomorrow, and we got reviews coming your way. So I'm taking a look at Blockness from Blue Orange, the new Funko stuff. Well, some of the new Funko stuff, the new Space Jam Funko stuff. Monza, me and my kids are taking a look at a speed game called Rush Out. And I know many of you will be excited to see us take a look at the new Ares project. We played it here on the channel months ago, but now I'm taking a look at the published version, or at least the Target-produced published version, and that'll be coming out later this week. Also, I'm doing some more Dice Tower Classics, where I take a look at older games. I'm excited to keep going back and doing that, and more shelves in the library. We are loaded with games. So many new games to talk about, so keep an eye on that. Some of them are fantastic, and some are terrible. You wait. I played some of the worst games in my life over the past couple weeks, and I'm going to talk about those. I don't know about this week, but they're coming your way. And of course, all kinds of stuff. So keep an eye out on all the guys. Z will be here at 10 o'clock doing an app, a live playthrough of an app, so you can watch that. Like I said, Chris is doing a live Q&A later today. Tomorrow we got 5 more great games and shoots and marbles, for which we have a brand new piece. You're going to love it. It's fantastic. You'll also see that piece in our boring unboxing, which is going up tomorrow. Anyway, there's lots of stuff. I don't got time to talk about the stuff. Let's just show it later. Let's keep going.
Hey everybody, it's Ryan from Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. Today I am talking about Tiny Epic Galaxies. This is the game, the first Tiny Epic game I ever played, and it's the one that got me hooked on trying them all. Alright, so in this game, you are taking over planets all over the galaxy through diplomacy or through economics. You basically rolling these dice, you're getting all these different actions. My favorite part about this game, though, is the follow action. There's a resource called culture that you can spend to basically follow someone else's actions. So let's say Bethany, she's taking her turn, and she is able to upgrade her empire or whatever. I can then spend culture to follow behind her, which is, I just love that. I feel like there's no downtime in this game because you are always watching what everybody else at the table is doing because you want to see if there's a chance for you to follow them and take advantage of that. There's also a whole, it's a dice rolling game. Whenever there's dice rolling, I'm always a little wary. Is this going to be just a complete luck fest? Is it going to be no strategy? No, there's a ton of opportunities for you to change your die rolls. So first of all, when you roll your dice, you get 1 free reroll. But then there's a whole resource dedicated to do nothing but re-rolling your dice. So let's say you didn't like what you see, you can pay another resource, re-roll them again. Pay another resource, re-roll them again. Obviously, you don't want to do that forever. But there's also a conversion chart. So you can spend 2 of your dice that you don't like for 1 dice that you to whatever the exact face that you want it to be. And that is incredible. You're never just completely out of luck. There's always something you can do. There's always some way that you can get the results that you need to advance your turn. This is a great game. It's such a small footprint, small box, and we had a ton of fun playing this one. Tiny Epic Galaxies. Like I said, this is the one that kind of started it all for us. So, all right, everybody, if you want to hear more from us, we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews, and you can find us on YouTube or on Facebook. Thanks, and have a great breakfast.
I just actually upgraded my Tiny Epic Galaxies here with some nice new boards that fit in a box. So earlier I was showing you the Board Game Geek pieces here. I have the It's a Wonderful World ones in my hands. And one of the things we talk a lot about in games is form over function, or function over form. It depends on the game itself. So we had a real problem back in the 90s and 80s where games were ugly. I think we can all agree, not all games were ugly, but there's a lot of ugly games out there, but you could read them. Let's get some good artwork. And wow, the artists have shown up in droves. We have beautiful games out there for sure. But something I'm seeing more and more now are games where they're putting the form or the beauty of the game over the functionality of the game. This artwork looks amazing, but I can't read it from more than 1 foot away because the artwork just kind of overwhelms it. A good example of this would be dice. When we talk about dice a lot of times in crowd surfing and other things, we talk about how there's these really cool dice out there that are so ornate and have so many cool things on them, but you can't read them, which literally defeats the purpose of dice. Dice aren't meant to be pretty per se, they're meant to be functional. And there has to be a line. I know every time I talk about this, there's always be someone like, I could just play a game on a piece of paper. Well, fantastic for you, sir. But for the rest of us, we want our games to look pretty. I just don't want that prettiness to get in the way of the actual functionality of games. And I'm noticing this more and more. I'm someone who likes to upgrade games. I have upgraded many games, and over the next few weeks, I am upgrading even more. I got another box of upgrades today, not even counting this stuff here from the Geek Bits. I like making them better, but like these tokens here are literally the same thing as the other tokens. They're just thicker and they feel better. That's it. It makes it look better, but the function remains the same. It's just that when you get something and like, we're going to make this look better, but I can't tell it's the same thing. This happens a lot with resources. I like to upgrade resources for games, but sometimes when you upgrade a resource, it doesn't match the icon, and that can bother some people. I know, for example, Z mentions it bothers him. If the resource doesn't match the icon because you're looking for that, and oh, you have to mentally remember that this resource is that icon. That doesn't bother me as much, but even so, I think about it when I'm upgrading stuff for a game. I think about this a lot. We talk about this all the time. When a company makes a beautiful board, but doesn't fade it at all, because they want to show off this great artwork for the board, and then it makes the board more difficult to read. And so because of that, you got this pretty board, but the game is just a little bit harder for folks. And so I'm slightly concerned that the hobby is leaning in this direction. I think it's fantastic that we got games that are works of art and beautiful games, but we are starting to see more and more games where they are more difficult to play. One of the games I'm reviewing this week is a gorgeous game. It's a wonderful reprint of an older game, and yet I have a few small issues with it because it's harder to read because of the way they made the tiles. So the original game was very not pretty at all, just stick figures essentially almost, but you could easily say these 3 tiles match. Now I have to kind of go, where is the next tile that matches as I look on this gorgeous board that the stuff gets lost on? I think there's a middle ground. I would rather tilt towards the beautifulness, or the beauty, sorry, for sure, but I still want to be able to play the game. And I think it's something that we all need to keep in mind, especially publishers, because they're the ones who do it. But, I see someone in the comments says, publishers fade your boards. We say this all the time, and there's always a little bit of pushback on it, but you can still see that nice artwork, just fade it out a bit. I can still look at this gorgeous art on a card, but don't make it take 80% of the card, and then your text is in 5-point font at the bottom. Your die can be ornate, but I need to be able to read the numbers. Form is awesome, but function is critical.
Hi, I'm Jordan. This is Weeknight Gaming, where I talk about a game that works well to play on a weeknight. Here we go. I'm usually not one to buy into, hotness and stuff like that, but I bought into this one and I bought into it real hard, and I am crushing on this game real big. This is Marvel United. This is all the rage currently, or maybe the rage has already passed and new games have come out since the last 3 weeks. This game plays in about 30 minutes. It is very quick, and it's about, of course, Marvel superheroes banding together to defeat a villain. And depending on how many villains you have kind of on your shelf, you can pull in new villains, and each villain is essentially a different game mode. This game feels very similar to me to a light cooperative game, similar to Pandemic, or maybe Forbidden Desert, Forbidden Island, that kind of thing, where you have a limited number of actions on your turn. You're going to be moving around, doing different things, and essentially the bad guy, in Pandemic, the virus is spreading. This one, the bad guy is spreading things or hurting you or things like that. So, and it's uses a deck of cards to kind of simulate that. This is so much fun. The combinations of the characters, the villains that are coming in, there's so much interesting stuff to explore here in such a light package. You can teach this game in just a couple minutes. If you forget how to play it, the rules are really simple and easy to get into. After you play it once, you literally just swap out some of the minis, swap out the villain board, and you can play a whole nother game in another 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah, if you haven't checked this one out, you could go to Walmart or Amazon and pick up Marvel United and wait till get some expansions in the future, because there's a lot here. You'll still enjoy it. But yeah, I'm Jordan. Thanks.
I am actually talking about Marvel United this week because it's been a year since we reviewed it here in the Dice Tower. Look back, and I'll just spoil it now. Look back on it. I originally rated the game an 8. With all the extra stuff, it's moved up to a 9 for me. I really enjoy it. All right, well, I'm always talking about stuff here that is not board games. This is a section that's not board games. And so some company emailed me and said, would you review our energy, caffeinated mints, and gum? And being someone who likes to stay awake, I said, yes. So this is, I actually don't know how to pronounce it. It's vitor or vitor. I'm going to say vitor, energy. So I got vitor, energy gum. I know I shouldn't be laughing. And caffeinated mints, which come in 5 different flavors here. We have cinnamon, we have spearmint, we have chocolate mint, we have wintergreen, and peppermint. The gum is only in 2 flavors, wintergreen and cinnamon flavor. So the gum says 2 pieces here equals a cup of coffee. These energy mints say that 2 of them are a cup of coffee, while these extra strength ones, 1 of them is a cup of coffee. So I've tried these all out. The gum is not particularly flavorful. It's fine. It's just not particularly flavorful, but it is, it does work for sure. Now, I don't know if there's a drop down after it, because, I mean, like a crash afterwards. Sorry, I'm trying to open this one here. Is it okay to use your teeth to open plastic? I always do. I don't know that bothers some people, but I just realized I've not tried these chocolate mint. Is chocolate mint a flavor? Is it going to taste like a Necco? Is that what you think? That's what I'm feeling like it's going to taste like. Anyway, they work really hard. I don't know if there's a crash afterwards, but they work well. Let's try this one out, okay? So we're going to try a chocolate mint flavor. No, it's not like a Necco. It's not really chocolate. If you gave this to me and said, what flavor is it?
Tastes like coffee?
No, it doesn't taste like coffee. It's okay. So far, the cinnamon ones I like a lot, but they are powerful cinnamon ones. I'm going to put one of these in my mouth at the same time as a chocolate one. Yeah, the cinnamon one's much better. That combo is pretty terrible. All right, let's try the peppermint ones. Am I doing the extra strength ones? So right now I'm up to 2.5 cups of coffee. That's okay, right? Well, that's a really bad combo. You shouldn't do that. That's a terrible combo. The wintergreen ones are good, but as funny as it would be for me to take another mint here in front of you, I believe I may have already pushed myself farther than I should. But I'm about to go driving, so that's okay. I need to stay awake. They're good. I don't know how great they are, but I've never even heard of mints and energy together, although I have energy toothpicks now too. But they're interesting. I don't know that I would recommend them, but they have 0 calories. They're sugar-free. They're good. I don't know if they're great. I'm going to keep using them because they exist and are useful. So there you go. And that's what I had to review today. Vitor Energy.
Hello, and welcome back to Retro Board Game Corner. Here I have Sid and Marty Krofft's Wonderbug game, published in 1977 by Ideal. This is a 2 to 4 player game in which you're trying to build Wonderbug first. Let me set this up and show you how it works. This is what the game board will look like set up. You're going to separate the 8 puzzle pieces and put them in their numbered circles. Everybody's going to pick a pawn and start here at the start space. The magic horn will be placed right here. On every turn, you're going to roll a 6-sided die and just move clockwise around the board and just do whatever it says. It will either instruct you to take a specific puzzle piece, it's going to instruct you to take a piece of junk, which you'll just take a piece of junk and put it in front of you, or it's going to ask you to challenge another player. If you ever have 3 pieces of junk in front of you, you'll just put it back here in the center of the board and give up one of your puzzle pieces and put it back where it came from. When you challenge another player, you'll just pick somebody and you'll each roll a 6-sided die. Highest number will steal a puzzle piece from that player that lost. After you have all 8 pieces of the puzzle, you race back to the start to get the final piece, which is the magical horn. You have transformed into the Wonderbug and won the game. Wonderbug ran for 2 seasons on the Croft Super Show that ran from 1976 to 1978. It's about a car that transformed into the Wonderbug whenever a magical horn was played, and it helped 3 teenagers capture crooks and prevent wrongdoing. Well, that's all the time I have for now. If you have a comment below, or you can tweet at me at RetroBoardGamer. And as always, may your rolls be high.
Anyway, that's our show. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. This is not the only thing that we're doing live today. Come back to us later at 10 o'clock. Z, that's like only in half an hour. Z is going to be doing an playthrough of some game or other. I'm sure it's fantastic. And then Chris will be here at noon answering all your questions. We have lots of videos going up this week. Come back and join us. Thanks to our amazing contributors. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast on the Dice Tower.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vasel and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production.